A massive black figure bursts through the treeline with predatory force. A reaper. 6 bladed legs pound the earth, each step cracking frozen soil and shaking the brittle ground. Then it charges. Katie fires heavily at it, but to no avail. It kept on approaching. Will yells, but no words come out. Nina shoves Katie toward the lift cables. Will and Nina race through the land toward the base of the skylift, their boots pounding against ice-crusted gravel. Nina doesn't wait. She leaps onto the first passing chair, fingers gripping the icy bar, eyes focused upward. Will is seconds behind her, sprinting hard and throwing himself onto the next chair. The lift sways under his weight, creaking as it begins to rise. Katie, a few steps behind, turns and sprints, too late. The next chair has already passed. She makes a split-second decision and veers off course, scrambling up the metal support pole of the lift. Her fingers slip on the frost, but she climbs fast, desperate. The Reaper bursts forth. Nina sees it first. It's coming. Shoot it. She and Will pull their rifles and open fire. Bullets tear through the air, striking the Reaper in bursts, but nothing happens. The creature doesn't even flinch. Their gunfire echoes pointlessly against the mountain walls. As Katie reaches the top of the pole, she sees the lift chair with Will approaching. He looks up at her, eyes wide. "Jump," he shouts. She hesitates, then leaps. Her hand finds Will's, but her boot slips off the cable. She screams. Will grabs her wrist tight, muscles straining, trying not to let go. Katie dangles in midair, the snow-covered earth 30 feet below. Below them, the Reaper barrels forward, closing in on the lift tower. Its bladed tail lashes up, striking one of the support poles with a deafening clang. The entire structure shudders. Katie's hand slips. She falls. A heavy thud lands in the snow. Will doesn't hesitate. He jumps after her. The lift swings on without them, carrying only their heat ghosts upward. They hit the snow hard and roll. The Reaper is already turning, targeting, recalculating. Will grabs Katie and they sprint toward the ridge, toward the line. That invisible elevation where no Reaper dares to pass. This is elevation. A world split not by oceans or walls but by altitude. A world where Reapers roam the lowlands, killing everything in sight. A world where only the heights are safe. Let's dive straight into it. 3 years after the Earth split open and sinkholes gave birth to mechanical nightmares called Reapers, the world lies in ruin. These 6-legged, obsidian-skinned monstrosities emerged like a plague, relentless and calculated. Cities were swallowed whole, highways turned into mass graves, and over 95% of the human population vanished. The last bastion of life lies high above, nestled in the thin, bitter air of elevations above 8,000 feet, where the creatures, whether by design or limitation, do not cross. In the icy peaks of the Rocky Mountains, what remains of humanity clings to survival. Will, once a teacher, now a hardened survivor, lives with his asthmatic son Hunter. The boy's lungs are weak, tethered to a fragile oxygen filtration system that's one spark away from failing. Will's wife, Tara, perished on a failed expedition below the line, where Reapers prowl every shadow. She died beside Nina, a physicist whose theories about the Reaper's vulnerabilities have long haunted her. She lost more than just credibility. Her family too was taken by the mechanical beasts. Life in the mountains is muted, radios silent, power conserved, every footstep cautious. But the unthinkable happens. Hunter's filtration device begins to fail. The filters have decayed. No replacement exists above the safety threshold. Will has days, perhaps hours, before the boy's lungs give out. Against every rule of reason, Will decides to descend into Boulder, where old hospitals may still hold the vital equipment. He seeks out Nina. She's broken, wrestling with the ghosts of those she couldn't save, and initially refuses. But when Will mentions his plan to retrieve the filters, she offers a deal. If they go, she must return to her old lab to retrieve a cobalt-magnesium composite, believing it may hold the key to destroying the Reapers. Katie, a sharpshooter and old friend, insists on joining. She has her own debt to pay and refuses to let Will face the abyss alone. The trio sets out, their path winding past a skeletal gondola route hanging just beneath the 8,000-foot mark. The sensor Nina engineered, a device attuned to electromagnetic pulses, begins to twitch violently. From the trees, a monstrous Reaper erupts, its antennae flicking, sensing exhaled carbon dioxide. Its legs slice through the snow-drenched ground like blades. The three sprint across a dangling lift chair as the beast surges forward. Will manages to ignite a backup generator just in time, jerking the chair skyward, narrowly escaping as the creature screeches and swipes just inches below their feet. The trio regroups at an abandoned mountain lodge. Nina's suspicions grow. She believes Reapers are not biological but mechanical, designed for annihilation, immune to bullets. Only something disruptive, an electromagnetic shock or chemical imbalance, can tear them apart. She theorizes that magnesium-cobalt rounds, when embedded, could trigger a chain reaction inside the creature. Their journey forces them through the Calway mining tunnels, a suffocating route that dips beneath the threshold of safety. The tunnel walls whisper with every footstep. Just as they near the halfway point, Nina's sensor goes dead. A thick silence follows. Then a screech cuts through the dark. A Reaper slams into view. In an instant it lunges. One of its whips spears Katie straight through the chest. Her scream is guttural, shredded with pain. The creature drags her into the blackness, her voice fading into a terrible silence. Will grabs Nina's hand and races back toward the shaft, his feet pounding against rock, lungs burning until they burst back into the light. Above the threshold, the sensor flickers back to life. They're safe. For now. They rest in a mountaintop cabin. Nina opens up for the first time, revealing the depth of her survivor's guilt. Her husband and children were lost during a similar expedition. Every breath she takes feels stolen. Yet this loss steals their resolve. They push forward into the heart of Boulder. Next, they reach the Department of Energy lab where Nina once worked. Will rushes to deliver the filters to Hunter, who's growing weaker by the hour. Nina, meanwhile, returns to her old lab like a ghost walking among ruins. Memories claw at her as she reactivates dormant equipment. She melts cobalt and magnesium into a composite. Working late into the night, she coats bullets by hand. Every round becomes a symbol of vengeance and hope. A Reaper tackles Will truck, flipping it like a toy. Dazed and bloodied, Will crawls out. 5 Reapers circle, antennae twitching. The air is electric. Just as they close in, Nina emerges, rifle lit with blue flame. One shot after another, her mag dust rounds hit their marks. Reapers explode in violent symphony, their insides tearing free of armored husks. Smoke settles. They stand surrounded by molten remains, mechanical wreckage glowing in the snow. They return to Lost Gulch, dragging the proof with them. They send a message. Across the Rockies, radios crackle to life. Communities begin forging bullets, preparing for war. Humanity, once huddled in fear, starts to rise. Back at the cabin, Hunter breathes deeply, filter restored. Will and Nina stare upward, silent. They've uncovered the truth. But the war may just be beginning.
If you enjoyed this video and want to catch my next movie, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a moment. Big things are coming, and you won't want to miss what's next. See you in the next one.